sunny Friday afternoon here in London. I'm Klaus and this is the EAD podcast where we talk everything EAD, including of course the current League 3. Today I'm joined by two veterans of the Vice Underdogs, Sean and Ferrari, where they give their insight and opinions on match day 2 and 3. Hey Sean, how's it going? Good?
Yeah, all good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Thanks for joining. We're going to get into it. I'm not going to ask you loads about the other games because you said you hadn't really watched them and know what's going on. So I'm just going to focus on the VU match and ask just to get your insight in the game.
All right.
My first question has to be, who decided that you're going to be the captain this league? Because I know the Vice Underdogs are very democratic. At least they look from the outside a very democratic sort of system. Everyone's votes, puts in their ideas and their opinions, and you all kind of come to a decision together.
Actually,
or is
the
it you
thing
just
was
put yourself forward? Go on. Sorry.
Yeah. Actually, the thing which it was like no one was around for a while, and I was the only one playing in the championship and everywhere. The Ferrari's team was out, and me, Noun, and Easy M4 were the only one playing till the last match of the championship. So we three were only active players at that moment. And I was the senior one, so I decided to be the captain.
Nice. So it was a kind of like you guys were the most active at the time, so you sort of took the lead. Nice.
Yeah, and none of others have any special interest right now in AD because it's slow-paced game, for them at least.
Yeah, it's very different to your usual deathmatch kind of scenarios. Yeah, that's true. It's very tactical compared to other game modes. That is true. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the match then. It was your first match of the league since you didn't have a game in the first week, so it was a kind of waiting. I guess you were waiting to get your first match off, and you come up against, I would say, an unknown team because you know they hadn't really played much previously, had they? So.
Yeah, it was difficult indeed, but the team was actually filled with a lot of players who spam AD every day, and we were like casually playing AD, and we were not that active compared to them. They were like really good.
Yeah, that's
we
true.
We actually underestimated them, underestimated half of their team, and the people we thought that we will have problem against, those were not the actual problems.
So you're coming up against some guys who were putting in a lot of hours training and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
The lineup surprised me. I think it surprised a couple of other people as well. You seemed to go for more of an experienced lineup. You had guys like Axo and Sizer show up, so it was kind of a more experienced lineup.
It was
instead of throwing some new guys.
We had Ulker for the new guys only, because he was only around at that time, and for the rest of the squad, we didn't decide much we didn't focus that much on this match actually. It was a very casual approach from us, which was really not expected. I was also busy with my personal life stuff, and Ferrari at the end of the day, it was Ferrari who took the lead, and he's also having a busy life.
Yeah, it's quite spontaneous then, leading up to it. Yeah. Who surprised you the most then in the match from the VU team? Who do you think had the best day?
Ulker. I think he was the best.
Really?
He was the new guy from our team, and under that much pressure, he still played really good compared to the rest of the squad.
I did agree. He made some really good kills, and his aim with the M4 was on point, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did you use voice comms during the match then? Everyone was on
voice? Yeah, we did that, but still, it was not that much great compared to what we usually have. This was actually really casual approach from all of us.
Yeah. So a little disorganized.
Yeah, little bit because we all were busy with our stuff.
Nice, but in the match, so on the day, you get off to an absolute flying start. You go 2-0 up after the first
Yeah,
two rounds on the base. You absolutely destroy them. I mean,
yeah.
what was the feeling
And
after
then
those first two rounds?
we thought that it's over already over, and that's where we were wrong.
Yeah,
We
I
put our
mean,
guard down, and you saw the results.
so you felt like you maybe lost some
Yeah,
concentration after going 2-0 up so easily.
we were actually overconfident after that. I couldn't disagree on that.
I think,
Yeah,
do you think going back to 2-2 after 2-0 up, that was where maybe the game shifted towards
yeah. Game
TT?
shifting point. Yeah, indeed. We really thought that our main squad will, and we are just say we are not up to the point for our main squad. That EXO is on inactivity for over a month or so, 2 months I think, and so Ferrari you usually don't play that much this game, and Caesar he showed up that day, but he was also not up to the mark. He was also out of shape. The guys who were in shape were only Ulkar, no one else. Rest were casual players.
See, I thought
So
Sizer had a really good game at AXO as well.
yeah, he did. They did had they did had good game, but only in starting few rounds. Saxa had good game in the first 2 rounds only.
Mm.
That's what I would say. He was the last man standing in almost all of the rounds, but still he can do much better. I know that.
I think we have to mention
He
Omarosh as
yeah
well, who had a bad day, didn't
yeah he had a bad day as well.
he? I mean, did you notice that he actually team killed you in the North Brentwood car park?
Yeah, I know.
That must have been devastating.
Yeah, it was actually.
Yeah, and he almost
Yeah,
killed
it's okay.
himself.
hmm
Oh dear.
Things happens.
Will he get another chance?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, good,
He
good.
will. Yeah, he's a good player after all. It was his
He
first.
usually
Yeah.
is a lot better than that. He just had a bad
hmm
day, I think. Bad day at the
Yeah,
office.
maybe.
Okay, let's get your opinion on TT. Who stood out for you from their team?
I think only it was Pavonis who did really, really great.
Really,
We totally and
Pavonis?
yeah, he was good. He was actually good.
Do you think he's got the potential to become one of the best?
Yeah, indeed. He
He's
can
got a
be
lot of
like
drive, hasn't he? He's got a lot of drive,
yeah, indeed.
enthusiasm. But what about
And
Jinx?
he has also got the time and efforts to put into this game.
Yeah, he puts in a
So
lot of
he will
hours,
go ahead. Yeah.
definitely. What do you think of Jinx, though? He was the MVP.
Yeah, he was also great, but it was expected from him. But the unexpected part was from Pavanis. That's what I would say. I wouldn't expect anything less from DU. That's what I would say. That's what I was about to say.
So you hold DU quite highly.
Yeah.
I was going to ask what's your view on Wilson? I know you guys are quite close. Do you rate him highly?
Yeah, I do rate him highly, but at that time he was also out of shape. That's what I would say. He's getting back into it right now, but he
I
could have
thought,
done better from his perspective as well. He was a
I,
good captain. That's what I would say.
yeah, he's definitely a good
Yeah,
leader. I think a
good
lot of
captain. Yeah,
people underestimate him. I really do, because I think a lot of people just see him as a one-trick pony. Like he's only good with the RPG, but I think he's
yeah,
proving there's more to his game now
hmm
because
indeed.
he's getting better with like rifles and shotguns, and
Actually, yeah, we thought that he would be the RPG guy in every game. That's what we thought, but he realizes that other guys are better than him in this game with RPG. So he gave them chance, which shows that he's actually a good leader. He didn't went for like yeah, no, I will get all the kills and everything like that.
yeah,
He
definitely,
played for the team. Yeah.
definitely agree with that. Okay, Sean, let me finish off with asking you. You've lost your first game,
Yeah.
but as a team, are you worried about the league now, or are you still confident? Do you still
As
think
a
you can
team,
win?
yeah, we are worried about the league, not in the sense that we might lose or anything like that, but our performance is what matters for us right now.
So
Our performance was not up to the mark in this game. We didn't play it like the best of views. We can improve, we will improve, and we will show that why we are the best clan in this game.
So the main focus this next game is not so much winning, but playing to the best of your ability.
Yeah, performance.
Nice. Thank you for joining, Sean. Thanks for your time.
It was a pleasure, man.
I'm now joined by another Vice Underdogs veteran, Ferrari. Welcome to the show. You know what I'm going to start with? The VU match against the Triples.
The Triples, yeah. Okay. Well, I knew you were going to ask that. Well, honestly, I think we had a pretty good team and we had a pretty good plan. We just didn't get lucky. I'd say we just had bad luck, like Omarash crashing and shooting himself with RPG. It was just bad luck, in my opinion, at least. There were some mistakes, but I think if we just had a bit more luck, we would have won.
It was pretty tight, and at the beginning, you went 2-0 up fairly easily. You destroyed them in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. We spent quite a great amount of time planning for that match, but when it came to realization, actually, fun fact, for the first round, we actually had to improvise. Our plan was actually to car surf on a Hydra, and then we realized there are no Hydras in the championship, in the league, I mean. So we just had to make like a new plan on the spot, and it worked pretty well. But on the defending round, we started encountering some problems. I think some of our guys were having problems with their pings and FPS. And I don't know what happened with Omarosh. I mean, he was playing really well while we were warming up and training, but I guess it just wasn't his day.
Yeah, he definitely had a bad day. He used the rocket launcher. Was he training using that set?
Actually, yes. He usually is a pretty good RPG player. I mean, I know he uses remotes, basically all kinds of stuff, but he knew all the spots. We actually went through the whole plan together while creating it. So, yeah, he was the most qualified person for playing the RPG role in that match. Unfortunately, I don't know what actually happened on that NPN car park round. He got into his position, and I guess he panicked and tried to shoot at a helicopter or something. I don't know. Ended up shooting himself down to like 15 HP, and it just went downhill from there.
Yeah, I think the turning point was the second base at the North Point Mall car park. I think those rounds were really tightly contested. They went kind of right to the wire. I think both rounds were pretty close, where only one or two were surviving from each side. And I think after it went 2-2, the momentum was with TT from then on.
Exactly. I think it was kind of a psychological effect, Omarash did pretty poorly in those two rounds, and I think it just affected his performance overall. However, we did see some good action from some of our members. For example, Ulfer did a great surprise on us. He showed some good talent, good teaming skills. We just didn't have luck. As for the attacking round, I'd admit it might be my fault that we actually lost. I tried to get into a 2-1 and distract them while Caesar was extended and stuff like that. But it didn't work out in the end. I actually died. Also, the plan was probably more or less situated around then being the North Point Mall by itself. We just thought it would be empty. So when we encountered like three of their guys inside, we were kind of surprised and had to improvise again.
I think you were quite confident going into the match. What was the feelings before the match?
We were ready. We were definitely ready. Like I said, we even drew up maps, stuff like that. I like to plan matches in very much detail, which is sometimes a good thing and sometimes a pretty bad thing, because, as you know, plans only work till around 30%. After that you have to improvise.
Yeah, I was speaking to Sean, and he was saying, although he's the captain, you're more the tactical brains behind the team. Is that right?
Well, yes, that would be fair to say. Well, I mean, I've been leading VU squads since, I don't know, like 5 or 6 years after Veteran resigned from the leading role. I think I did pretty much okay during that period. I mean, we defeated some pretty strong clans like TRC, SS. But today it's a new team. We have a lot of new members, new talent, but they need to be trained, they need to be honed. And I'm sure in the next match today we'll be ready.
Yeah, it's true. You do have a new generation of Ice Underdogs coming through the ranks. But interestingly, you played a lot of the veterans the last game. You had Axo out there, Sizer. They all played quite well as well. You didn't really play a lot of the new guys.
Well, honestly, our goal on that match was to let every player from VU that joined or was available play. That's at least our objective for making the new bloods, the new talent, like you said, fresh guys. Give them a chance, let them prove themselves. However, like I said, anyone who joined that day or was available got a chance to play. So let's see, we had like Nayan, we had Alker, we had, I think even Umair played some rounds. Mm-hmm. Basically, we just tried to give everyone a chance because that's the only way for people to progress in their roles.
Who impressed you the most?
Impressed me the most? Well, actually, I'd say it was EXO. I mean, he doesn't play that much nowadays. He claims to be pretty rusty, but I think he showed them some competition and did really well in his match.
He's still really strong in the CQB stuff, isn't he, with the spaz?
Yes, he plays very sneaky, which is something I'm a fan of. Also, he's one of the best team players I think we have in the squad, so that's good. The one thing I regret is Blitz wasn't available. And we were more or less counting on him for some of the bases. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it. He made it to like the last few rounds, and at that point it was just a lost game. And
no doubt Blitz is important to your team. Sean mentioned Olka impressed him. Do you think,
yes.
Do you think he's got a lot of potential?
I was listening to your live stream of that match. You said Olka didn't really show much, and I don't know. But in my opinion, he communicated well with the team on voice chat, of course. He followed the plan like he was supposed to. Even for his deaths, I'd take the blame because he was just following basically orders and the plan. For example, he tried to capture that South Point Mall base. It was due to me telling him to go for it because I didn't know the grenade guy was down there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he did really well. He's gonna grow into a very good player with time.
Yeah, so you don't always realise from the outside what's going on. Obviously, in the voice chats and comms and that kind of thing, you only really see what's in front of you on the stream, don't you? So you don't always get the bigger picture. But yeah, I'm hearing good things about Olka, so I'm looking forward to seeing him in future games.
Yeah, definitely. From the new guys, I think Nayan and Alker will be making a stronger presence in the future, in matches like this at least.
What's the feelings going into the next game? Confident?
Oh, well, I wouldn't say confident. We always take everything with a grain of salt, of course. We like to trash talk a lot. We think it's a part of the game. It makes things more fun. If someone takes that the wrong way, it's their own problem. But I wouldn't say confident. I would say we feel good about ourselves, but we also respect the opposing team. I mean, it's a hard team. We have like Hazard. He was like YCTDC, BCDC runner-up. Is that right? Also, the M4 game in MD's team is pretty damn strong, so we'll have to watch out. We'll try not to, take much 1v1s. We'll try to utilize teamwork and numbers.
Yeah, and there's rumours that there might be missing a couple of the top players, so that might be a good opportunity.
Well, for now, we're not actually sure who's gonna be part of our team. Like we said, we're gonna try to utilize everyone that's there, give everyone a fair chance to prove themselves, and Eadn just have fun as a squad. I mean, there's like 20 of us here that are clanmates for at least 10 years, so it's always a nice opportunity to hang out with people that you're friends with, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, let's talk about the match that we both watched together, EAF versus, who was it, MK? What did you think of that game?
I think it was a funny match.
Yeah.
EF didn't really perform. I mean, we had like Pyro, but even he fucked up in a few rounds. I mean, for one entire round, he was AFK. I don't know what happened there, which was a damn shame because I think they were actually focusing on playing him on that base with remotes or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's true, yeah. They went 4-0 down though, didn't they?
Yeah, I thought they were gonna make a comeback on the other set of bases. They looked pretty confident going in, but I don't know, Sean made some key mistakes in those rounds. I mean, that Projects round, he basically had the round in his hands but got greedy. Good surprise was Silent, actually. I mean, he is not a very attractive player, you know, that can really run and all, but he was doing his job.
Yeah, he had a pretty good game, yeah.
As for the MK team, it was pretty obvious they went in more prepared and more focused on the match. We had some great spots by Halkter with his RPG. I think he also played Sniper on one round. It was working out for them.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think going 4-0 down, you make it really tough to get anything out of the game.
Well, honestly, from the way EF looked, I don't think they even expected to win that game or cared enough to win it. So I'm not sure what to think about it. But better luck to them next time. I hope they can get some more active players that aren't like jumping into the game after a year or something. Maybe it works out for the best for them.
Yeah, I was going to say, Alaba wasn't very good that match. Do you think he's a bit rusty?
Well, obviously. I mean, Alaba is a guy I basically see only for Vice Wars and dueling championships, stuff like that. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't even see him playing in Argonet, for example, which is basically his home. So, not sure what to think about bringing him into the match. But he wasn't the only one.
No, it was an all-team thing, really, wasn't it? None of them really played to their best, apart from maybe you said Silent had a decent game.
Yeah, but I think the only reason for that is that he's actually active and plays EAD quite a lot. But from the MK team, well, like I said, Halter did great, and Eadn could have done better in the rounds. I think he was a bit overconfident in my eyes. He made a couple of like 100% shots on people and failed to wrap up some kills, stuff like that. He just needs to focus more.
Definitely, I see a lot of potential in Eadn. I think he was hot and cold during the match. You saw parts where he looked amazing, and then other times he sort of disappeared.
Yeah, definitely. Just like that, he toggles. Let's call it like that.
Yeah.
And I see the guy knocking 3 people down with an RPG, and then, I don't know, just lets them get up and walk away, not finishing it.
And then they had some other guys. Was it Thomas, I think, was one of them, who didn't really do much during the game. But you mentioned before Houcher. For me, he's one of the best in the game.
Well, he's absolutely MK's powerhouse at the moment. They don't really have that much of a choice of good players, in my opinion. Eadn is okay, like I said, but has some really bad moments. But yeah, I think Halter is actually leading this team into these victories.
Do you think MK will defeat R3V?
it would actually be a close match. I mean, R2V has some pretty good talent, but in my opinion, they play too aggressive. So it's gonna be an interesting match. We'll see how NK's plans work out against aggressive players with good individual skill.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think about EAF's next match against RT?
RT is actually a decent squad. We have people like Martyrdom and Masteros. Severin is okay, but I guess pretty inactive, and I wouldn't count from him much. But I think RT is the favorite going into that match.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think they've been training the most out of all teams. That's what I've heard. And a lot of them are looking to impress. Let's talk about the other game that happened a couple of weeks ago, R3V versus MD. What did you think about it?
It turned into a real shitfest. I don't know what happened in that match, really. I watched the live stream of it, and I saw a lot of, shady plays with RPG, stuff like that.
Topped off with a referee blunder.
Exactly. And then after that, it just turned into an argument as to whether to repeat some rounds or not. But the reality is both teams made some very punishable mistakes, which should have been punished by admins on the spot, although they weren't. And I don't think anyone's really 100% happy with the outcome of the match.
Well, I think MD will be happy if they end up getting the win, but it's a bit unknown at the moment how that's going to happen. Are they going to be given the draw? Are they going to be given the win? It's a bit unknown at the moment, isn't it?
Well, I know I wouldn't be happy in that situation. Why? Because, in games like this, you're basically making a reputation for yourself, and it is a relatively fresh clan on the block. I mean, they didn't really play much competition stuff like this, and they're aiming to prove themselves, to prove they can really work as a team, and they're a competitive clan. I wouldn't like getting my win scratched up to an admin mistake or cheating, stuff like that. So it all depends on their viewpoint, of course.
Yeah, do you think the referees need to take some responsibility? Should they be punished, or what do you think?
Well, I think they should have been punished on the very day that the match went down, because it was all available there, the mistakes were obvious, and what really surprised me is that some senior staff members didn't react to it on the spot. So I really don't know what to say. I mean,
you just have to feel sorry for the teams, really, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. We're in here to have a fair competition, to have a nice tournament, to have some fun with our friends, and games like this don't really come into that equation.
No, it's true. It's a shame. Okay, well, that's all. That's all for now, but hopefully you maybe will join me for a future podcast.
Yes, of course, no problem. Whenever you want to chat, we can do it. Okay, nice. Thank you for the talk, man.
All right, cheers, mate.